All right, so I'm making another shelf, and what I've done is I've taken some old stacking posts that I had, and they were like 6x6, and I cut them down to 5x5. And because these things twist as they dry out, they always twist. So what I did is I just straight lined every side of these things and just got them back true and square, and in that way they're not twisted. But I've got some live edge over there. I just split one of those in half. It's about a 17-inch wide live edge, and then I split it in half because it's going to go up against the wall. So I wanted that true side to go up against the wall, and then these are going to be the holders for it. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about in a little bit. And we're going to stain this thing a provincial stain by Minwax, and it's going in a friend of mine's house. But this is what's coming off. You know, that's what's coming off of it. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about it twisted. So I'm saying how that thing is wedge shaped, and then it gets thicker as it goes down. That's what happens though. These things will twist. Seems like every one of them twists the same way too. I don't know what it is. You can see right there. Look how bad that was, and then I had to take another slice down. Wild, ain't it? Yep, they all seem to twist the same way though. Pretty crazy. But that's what I'm working on today. Y'all hang in there, let's see how it turns out. All right, so this is what I got right here. 4 feet wide and probably a little bit over 4 feet tall. I don't know exactly what it's gonna work out to be. I'm gonna put 12 inches between the shelves. But I'm gonna go over it with this little flex wheel right there, 80 grit. And I'm gonna knock some of these chatter marks off of here from that band mill. And you see how I straight line that, split it right down the middle. So there's gonna give me 4 shelves, 8 foot long right here. I'm gonna get 4 shelves out of this right here. Let's see how it turns out. Let's go with it. All right, so what I've done is I got 3 right there. I'm gonna have 4 shelves all together. I haven't sanded the shelves yet. I got the 5x5s cleaned up right there. But I made this bottom shelf. It's gonna be 8 inches off the floor to the bottom, so it'll be 10 inches off the floor to the top of the shelf. But I went ahead and made it wider, and then that's gonna give me a better foundation. You know, you don't want this thing to turn over. So this is gonna fit up against the wall, and the live edge out. So that'll give me a whole lot wider foundation on the bottom. That's what I'm doing. All right, so you get the gist of what I'm doing, and nothing's lined up or screwed down or anything. I've just got it just balanced up there right now. So, but you see what we're doing, what we're working with. Oh yeah, and I've got the big wide baseboard in that house, so I'm gonna put 4 of these at the bottom, and I'm gonna recess the back one in a little bit. So that's what it'll look like when it's done, and then that way on the back side I won't have to cut the baseboard, you know, and make it permanent. I can just leave the baseboard down there, and plus you can run cords to a receptacle that's going to be like sitting over here on the side. You can run it back behind the feet on the back there down alongside the baseboard. So I'll set it back, you know, about 1 inch off the back, and that should give me a good foundation and hold her steady. That's going to look sharp though. You look at it, that's going to be sharp. I like that. Pretty good looking little freestanding shelf. Something different. All right, y'all, there you go. It's laying down on its back right now, and you can see the extra width on the bottom, the base down there, the foundation, just in case kids or something's gonna try to climb it. It's just gonna make it a little bit harder to turn it over. You could fasten it to the wall at the top right here with a safety chain or something, just in case you've got kids that like to climb. It wouldn't hurt, because let me tell you, this thing right here weighs a lot. If it fell on a kid, it would be bad. Now I did have to face screw these, but everything else should be hid unless you get down low. But I've got the screws on the bottom side down here on both sides. I've got 4 screws going into from this shelf into here, and then 4 screws, face screwing straight down into these 6x6s. You could peg it, but while you're pegging it and trying to figure out a way to peg it, it's already done, and it's super strong. If you wanted to, you could glue each joint, and but you see, I mean, it's strong, folks. It's really strong. and then I just toenailed these, and then that way we wouldn't have the screws right here. You would have to lay down on the floor in order to see these. So there it is. And I got my little gap back here for the baseboard and cords to run behind it if need be. So should work out really good. Now all I got to do is put the finish on it, or sand it up real good, and then put the finish on it. I just run over it with that rough wheel real quick, and then I'll go back over it with that vibrating sander, and you know, knock some of the circle marks out of it, because when you stain it, every one of those scratches are going to hold a stain, and they're going to show up. I mean, we want it to be rustic, so I'm definitely going to leave these in here instead of, you know, getting those out. I'm going to leave all of those saw marks in there. But let's just see how it turns out when I get the finish on it. You can go ahead and install it, and you always put a little felt pad. I put pads on here, and then that way you can just slide them around like I did Hannah's. It was super neat. Just stick them on there, and you can just slide that thing all over the floor, and you ain't got to worry about scuffing the floor up. Those little felt pads are nice. They just stick on, or you can get some that nail into the end right there. And then that way you can move this big heavy dude without having to pick it up every time. Gonna be pretty, y'all. I'll get you a little video of it standing up in just a minute. Well, folks, I got the first coat on it, and I think it's gonna look pretty sharp. So I'm gonna allow that to dry, give it, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour or so. Let it dry because it's still early in the morning. It'll take a little bit because the humidity's up. Let it dry real good. Come back with a light sandpaper, like 220, you know, 320, something like that, and just knock those spots off. You can see them standing up now. And plus, when you wiping this stain with a rag, you're leaving those fibers from your rag in, you know, it's sticking in the splinters of the wood. And when you come back with that sandpaper, you can see them from the sides. See that? It's like fuzz. It'll knock all of that off, and then it'll make that next coat even, you know, smoother. And then you just keep on going. You put as many as you want on it. It really don't matter. Just let it cure between. And I think it's like an hour or something. I mean, it doesn't take long, especially when the humidity's down. It don't take long at all for this stuff to set up and dry. Yep, I think it's gonna look pretty good. Y'all hang in there. We'll get this thing finished and get it in the house, see what it looks like. All right, so we got it in here.
It's so cute.
And this is Hannah's stepmom's house that I built for her. So we're matching all the trim in here. I know y'all can remember when I built this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now put your little, look at this now. This is what this kid right here done.
Why are you gonna make me do that?
No, well, everybody asks about those arrangements on these YouTube videos. They ask about the arrangements that's on both sides of your front door. Yeah, they do too.
Ugh.
Okay, so this is what she's made for. And I think this one's gonna go in Lisa's room, but we're gonna put it right here for right now, just to dress it up a little bit.
The other ones are too big. Ain't gonna fit.
You don't think so?
Too wide. Ain't gonna look right. Plus the colors are too wide. And they're for different rooms, so they don't look right together anyway.
You don't think so?
No.
And then she made Long Tall Sally right here. Look at the magnolia blooms on that thing, buddy. Let me tell you, that thing is sharp. I love it. Hannah don't like it. I love it. I think she's done a fantastic job. But look at that shelf. Look at that.
Yeah, can we look at the shelf? Please.
Yep, that's gonna look good. I tried to say, let's just go up and over the television and down this side and move that tree right there and just go right there and just, that way you'd have shelves all the way around and go above your thermostat right there with the next
really
shelf.
had a job then.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, it's not it took me, what, 30 minutes to build that thing right there.
So
It just takes a lot of time prepping it and getting it ready to stain.
It's perfect in here.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look good.
Lisa's gonna love it.
Yeah, she's gonna love it. Hope y'all enjoyed the videos. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.